Thank you for joining us. Sources tell CBS News an internal watchdog investigation found Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth violated policies when he shared sensitive military information in a Signal group chat earlier this year. You'll recall the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic revealed back in March he was accidentally added to the group chat with Hegseth, Vice President Vance, and other top government officials discussing military strikes in Yemen. The watchdog report, which is expected to be released tomorrow, found Secretary Hegseth could have endangered American service members and jeopardized sensitive military information. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said, quote, "This review affirms what the administration has said from the beginning. No classified information was leaked and operational security was not compromised." Secretary Hegseth is also facing continued scrutiny over the September strikes on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean. A U.S. official tells CBS News that a total of 4 missiles were used in the attack. Hegseth has denied reporting by the Washington Post that he gave a verbal order to, quote, "kill everybody." President Trump defended the strikes earlier today and said his administration would certainly release the full video of the attack.
Every boat we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives.
That's right.
And if you look at our numbers, the drugs coming in through sea are down 91%.
We have team coverage on this story. National Security Coordinating Producer James LaPorta and senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang are both covering the latest from Washington. James, let's start with you. What more does this watchdog report reveal about Signalgate?
So according to sources that we've spoken to who have seen the Inspector General report, which is set to be published tomorrow, the unclassified version of the report, it confirms a lot of what CBS News has already reported, that the information that was put into the Signal chat was derived from a classified document that was sent out by the commander of U.S. Central Command. Now, there's, if you look at the statements from the Department of Defense today, they're saying, there was no that the information was not classified. That's their claim. I will point out that in our reporting, we've also shown that even if it was unclassified, you're still posing an unnecessary risk to operational security. So regardless if it was classified or unclassified, in the eyes of the Pentagon Inspector General, it was needlessly putting national security at risk. So that's essentially what the report's going to say tomorrow. In terms of the classification of the document itself, the Inspector General report, according to sources that we've spoken to, confirmed what we reported earlier this year, that the document itself was secret. So it was not a top secret document, but it was nevertheless secret. A secret document, if exposed to the public or exposed in any way, could cause damage to national security. That's literally the definition of if it was exposed. The other caveat to this document is that it had a no foreign classification on it. What that means is that none of the information inside the document itself could be shared outside the United States. It was only for U.S. personnel and U.S. government agencies. It couldn't even be shared with, say, our intelligence partners like the U.K. or New Zealand. So it was only for the United States for their own consumption.
Okay, James LaPorta, thank you for starting us off. Let's go to CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang now. So Weijia, we heard James there say that whether or not it was classified, it still posed an unnecessary risk according to this review. The White House saying that this review proves what they've said all along, that no classified information was shared. It appears to be a distinction the White House is not making.
That's right, Lindsay, and we have followed up with the White House just for clarification to see whether they are claiming that Secretary Hegseth did declassify that information before putting it into a group chat, and we have not heard back. But as we heard just now from James, the bottom line about the substance of the information does not change, and this report says that it could have had a negative impact on the security of the mission. And so the other question that we still have from White House officials that has not been answered is whether they disagree with that assessment. Even though they claim that operational security was not compromised, there's still a big what if at hand. It's not just, because nothing happened as a result of this, it doesn't deserve scrutiny and a change in policies even more than we've seen before. So even though the White House has an official statement, it does beg even more questions, Lindsay.
Okay, and on that alleged jugboat strike from September, Admiral Bradley is set to meet with House members tomorrow. What is the administration saying about the continued questions surrounding this strike?
Well, we just heard from President Trump inside the Oval Office, who was asked whether he would be amenable to releasing video of that second strike, because, of course, so far we've only seen an edited version of the first strike, and all the questions that remain have to do with the second one and potentially third and fourth. We don't know how many there were after that first one, if there were more. And he said that he wasn't sure what the administration has, but everything they do have, he was open to releasing. So on top of that, he also really defended, again, this decision to destroy the boat. He would not explicitly say that, whether there were survivors or not, if that was the right decision. He didn't want to talk about the possibility of survivors. But the president, as he's been doing all week, stressed that it was in the order to destroy these boats because he says each one of those boats kills so many Americans. Lindsay.
All right, Weijia Jiang, thank you.